So welcome. Happy to see all of you here. For those who may not know me, I am Trina Alford of Trina Lane Makeup Company. And I also have two of my girls, the behind the scenes. I see Krista's got her camera on. Give us a wave, Krista. So she helps a lot on the back end, as well as Lindsay. She might be having some camera issues. She was earlier. But you'll get to hear from them throughout the week as well as others that we have planned. But those of you who don't know me, I've been in the beauty industry now for 20 years. And I've also been coaching other beauty professionals for the last 14 years. And today is actually kind of rather exciting if you know my background and know my story. I've been anticipating launching this masterclass for quite some time. We've got more stuff coming. And what I've been finding over the last, especially these last 2 years, and especially for me personally in the last 11 weeks, is as the market continues to change, the economy, the cost of everything, I'm realizing that more of us need like support. There is a need for more relevant professional strategy. We need something also that has a strong emphasis on personal development. Am I right? And I feel like that's probably what drew some of you here, was just having that opportunity to have connection, to have support. I feel today is a little bit of different a ball game than it was just even last year and the year before, right? We all want to be successful in all areas of our lives. And this is a huge opportunity for us to spend some time this week. We're really excited to kind of share a few things with you. And I don't know if anyone can relate to this. You can give me a little bit of a show of hand. I had personally experienced like tremendous burnout. And then I also was actually just recently witness to my husband actually also experiencing massive burnout and stress. And I'm not going to get into those details here because we also want to make sure that we're here for you. But I think we all have a story and we all have a journey of where we want to go with ourselves and with our business. You know, I just feel we need strategy that encompasses everything. We also need to make sure that as we build our businesses and our careers, that we leave room for wellness and practice strong mental hygiene. You know, our careers are beautiful and they're colorful and we're sharing our gifts, but I also feel that our careers are also extensions of us, and how we use our gifts with others also needs to be in alignment with what I call our purpose and our intentions. So over these next several days, this master class is covering certain topics. I encourage you to keep coming back because we're building on top of everything that we spend an hour on each day, but things that are relevant today, not just only from my experience, because for the last probably month, I've been digging and doing what I call a little recon work, a little research, a little development, just to kind of get feedback and understand what's the pulse of the industry. What are some pain points? How is everyone feeling today? And where are we at as individuals as well? Okay, so we're going to talk strategy on all the things because we need to. And now is the time to kind of really come together as humans, as career enthusiasts, and really figure out where are we going over the next time frame together. Okay, so just to give you a quick recap, I have built, and we're still on the back end of putting together my new program called the Beauty Business Method, which we're aiming to launch in early June. But in order to really make that program come together a little bit more with further beefing up some things, this week alone will help us really ensure that we fully understand, while we're properly engaging with you, that we get a better pulse, and we want to dive deeper into where you feel you need the support. Because I can create something that I'm like, oh, everybody's going to love it. They're going to want a piece of that, right? But that's not the reality of how we're all working right now. Am I right? We're more drawn to people who are like, oh, wait, someone actually wants to listen to me, right? Somebody actually wants to be like, they want to hear about my pain. They want to hear about my joy. I want to be part of a community that just gets it, right? So this is not me being like, hey, come hang out with me for the next year. It's more about, let's just take this week to find out, what could this be? What could this be together? And I see familiar faces on here, and I've already had conversations with most of you in quick DMs, voice clips, emails, and I thank all of you for contributing to this, because this wouldn't happen without you guys. right? This is what creates community. So support. We want to also make sure you understand that this is also going to take some work. So I highly encourage that you participate. Take this 1 hour for yourself. I think that's more important, that we actually learn to unplug, disconnect from other things, and just be fully present. 1 hour for yourself this whole week. Now, we're not going to be piping up some magic and some easy stuff, because this stuff is going to take work. And the beauty of it is that you, me, all of us, we're all in charge of adjusting our own sales. And the best part about all of this moving forward is I've had to also readjust my sales tremendously over the last 11 weeks. So I'm in this too. I'm in it with you guys. So this is what I mean by this is not just a flashy program of like, here it is, sign up tomorrow. It's really the reality of where can we go from here? Because I also too need that support. And I've had support already along the way, people in my corner. Mindset is building something that you know that you can also leave for a bit and still creates income without sacrificing the things that mean value to you. And I feel sometimes this can fall into any industry alone. And you're going to hear from Katie. She'll be joining us in the next half hour, but she even comes from a perspective of, you know, I built my business around my family. And I want to have a deep dive with you guys. So here's my question to you. Who got access to the playbook previously? Did we see that link? Cheyenne did, yours did, Kat did. Are we missing the link? Krista, would you be so kind to throw it in the chat for us? I think Lindsay's having technical difficulties, but that's okay. These things happen. So check in your chat if you did not get it, because I'm like a workbook kind of girl. And in order to kind of understand some things moving forward, we're going to have some conversation. I don't know if did anyone get a chance to kind of just play with the playbook on their own time? If not, here's your moment. Krista, do we have it in there?
Coming.
Just want to make sure everyone has access to it. Oh, there's Lynn's. Either Lynn's or Krista. If you don't mind just throwing the playbook into the chat, that would be great, you guys. Just for those who accidentally missed it. There we go. There, Krista just uploaded it there. Feel free to open that and use it as a prompt, notebook, pen, highlighter, whatever works for you. But this masterclass, we're going to kick it off with let's talk about you. I do this every season. I call this my heart checkup. And I might lean on a couple of you to kind of share a couple things kind of along the way, because I also feel we also learn together as a team. But what I want to know is, what's your why? What's your vision? Everybody have access to that workbook there? Feeding off your faces. What's your why? I'll get you warmed up. We can't think on this Monday morning. How about money? We're going to be talking lots about financial wealth, health. It's a fantastic tool, but when money is available to you, would this help in other areas of moving forward in your career and your personal life? Probably yes, especially right now with the economy. One of my other biggest things was time. Here's my question to you. How do you want to spend your time, you guys? Most importantly, who do you want to spend it with? I think that's probably like one of the biggest questions we could be asking ourselves. How do we spend time? Who do we spend it with? Choosing to work with the right people. Show of hands. Have we worked with some shady people that you're like, oh, that was yucky? I didn't even finish my sentence. She's like, 2 hands. Right? We've all been there where you work with some people and you leave and you're like, that was an energy suck. I don't know what was going on there, but that really hurt my heart and my spirit. And then who's the person? Because this can be me, where I'm like, maybe I should just like really try to make things work with that person. Maybe I just don't fully understand. And then you realize you spend time, you're like, wait, that was still a waste of time. But at least we tried, right? But controlling money, you guys, controlling your time. What's your why? For me, was also just choosing to work with the right people. My colorful background included a workplace where I didn't know if the women were actually going to say hi to me half the time in the morning. Isn't that terrible? Right? You're like, is today the day they're going to actually say good morning? So controlling who you get to work with, I think, is key, but it's also the right people. And we're going to be talking lots about partnerships, collaborations, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. In order for me to do this master class and build a program is not just me. It's taking feedback from you, the right people, and it's also people like Krista, like Lindsay, everybody coming together as a community, because that's actually what it is. So maybe write this down. Do I have a strong community and support network? I call this my foundation. I also call this my bubble. And if you have a comment, throw it in the chat, because there's some things we kind of want to reference along the way too. Choosing to work with the right people, you need to create a bubble. It can't just be all on you. I talked to 2 mortgage brokers at a recent photo shoot. They have nothing to do with our industry, but I think all industries can be similar in a concept. If you build something so fast, so fanatical, that if something happened to you or you had to exit, how do you make money? How do you spend your time, and who's going to be there to support you? These are hard questions you actually need to dive into. I feel sometimes we get all the certifications we need. We open up a business because we're excited and we're thriving and we're using our God-given gifts. But then all of a sudden you get into a place in a situation of, oh my God, either I can't keep up or something is shifting, something's happening to my health. How are you going to make money moving forward? These are things to kind of think about, and you don't need to know the answers right now. This is why we have a master class, because we'll circle back to a lot of these questions, because this is a part of you.
Can I?
Louisa?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
did you have a question?
I come from a different background. I worked in Italy for 20 years as a esthetician, and I'm here since 15, and still learning a new mindset here from Canada. Okay. So are you saying that you need, in order to have collaborators, you need to know what you want in the business and to know yourself first?
That's just it. What do you
right?
want?
So
Yep.
sometimes you ask for collaboration, but then the collaborator, they think differently. So, and it takes time to understand, right?
Yes, 100%.
So you need to understand what you want and be able to communicate really, really clearly with the collaborator.
That's correct. And Louisa, that's great stuff. And to be honest, we'll be talking about this a lot more. Okay. And you're also going to hear probably actually every day, but specifically more on Wednesday, you're going to hear from 2 of my favorite humans in this industry who have built such strong partnerships with the right people to be able to move forward. Because you're not always going to find people that are going to be like 100% in your alignment, but you should be pretty darn close, right? Like when I look at Krista, we're on the same page for XYZ. When I like have a chat with Lindsay, we're on the page with XYZ. But at the end of the day, it's still your values that also come first, right? So those are great questions, Louisa, but these are things I feel like we're going to be having continuous conversations on, and you're not going to figure this out right now in the first 16 minutes of all of us hanging out, right? That's why we got a playbook. That's why we have these master classes, so we can just take the time to also slow down. And in a show of hands, who's the girl that wakes up at 2 a.m. with like, oh, that's brilliant. I got to write that down. Right? You process when we should be sleeping. However, that's the reality, right? So I think it's good to kind of really break down your vision, come from a personal side of these are the things that I want. Why do you want these things? And I've had to reconfigure what my future is going to look like over these last 11 weeks. But here's the thing. I'm not rushing it. I'm not grinding it. I'm not pushing it. I'm also trusting in the process. I will spend an hour working on my business, and everybody should write this down. Spend 1 hour a day dedicated to working on your business, because if you're like the rest of us, our time is also what? Being with clients, right? Servicing clients. And you got to find some middle ground somewhere that allows you to take some time to sit with yourself and really ask those hard questions. And I call this seasonal. I circle back to this every season, or if I'm starting to feel that tipping point, everybody knows that feeling of burnout or anxiety, right? Right now, I feel like our whole world is kind of really strong from that angle. But knowing you have a support group and people that can help out is key, okay? So as I said, coming Wednesday, you'll be learning some real good strategy on building the right partnerships, because that was also me too. I had to actually do a full detox, right? With like, where's the direction I'm going? And if I want to make this possible, these are the people that I feel would probably be a benefit. And here's the best thing. You don't need everybody. You only need a few people. That's it.
Sure.
That's it. Less stress too, right? And less people to manage at the same time. So here's another question. So in the playbook here, I kind of put these ones as kind of like they all roll in together. Okay. How much money do you need to sustain your dream life? And, or, because we're in the business of we need people to touch to make money. If something was to happen to you, how do you make money? So here's a question. Have we found ways to diversify in our business? Can't just be one thing, just seeing clients. Yes, you love it. You're passionate. I know Kat's got a retail line. I have a retail line. Uruj has a retail line, right? That could just be like one stepping stone just to kind of getting a little bit outside of just doing one thing in your business. You're also going to be hearing from my financial advisor and accountant on Saturday, and she's going to give you some great streamlined tips too on also, put this in brackets, put a big fat star next to it, how to make your money work for you while you're working over here. Because as women, we need to start setting ourselves up for success and not be so emotionally attached to money as well. If you talk to anybody in finances, they're like, women have an emotional thing about money. And we need to retrain ourselves too on, right, how we feel about money. Money is a tool. Again, trust in the process, not pushing, not grinding. How much money do you need to sustain? If there is a number that has popped up in your brain, I'm not asking you to share, but I would write that number down. Because there's a couple little things I want to quickly kind of cover and highlight. And we're spending time on this week together. Okay, we're going to keep growing and expanding. Because I feel like in 1 hour, you can only get so much info. And I like kindergarten level. Like baby easy steps, man. And then that way, okay, now we're kind of moving forward. So then here's my next question that's going to tie into how much money. How are you servicing your clients? Now, this is a very broad question, but this is where you can have some serious fun with this one. Okay, so don't complicate it. Come at it with some ease. But here's a couple of the things that I would be thinking about. So with your services, what are your heavy hitters? I call them your heavy hitters. What are the services that you already know right now or you're looking at that can make you bank? Within those services, are we also have we partnered up with anyone to create some like cool packages? Because I'm going to tell you right now, partnerships are key, especially if you can find someone you can kind of create packages with. So when I used to do facials back in the day, I also partnered up with those who did certain like laser techniques, like more the advanced aesthetics. That wasn't my area of expertise. However, the clients would start with me, move into like their laser services, come back to me. And then guess what? I'm also now retailing them skincare. And it could just be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be so complicated. I'm going to politely ask just for now, can everybody just mute their mics? I'm getting some weird feedback on my end. Just want to make sure it's not happening to anyone else. I appreciate that. Thank you. So think of your heavy hitters, and it can just be like your top 3 services. So as an example, for Trina Lane Makeup Company, weddings are separate. That's one of our heavy hitters. Then we do all the fun stuff. And then I also do training and coaching. That's how I've broken up my 3. And then within there, you kind of build right on from that. And be honest with yourself. What's the cost of everything? Because when you start pricing things out, you want to look at the market. You want to be realistic. You want to charge for your expertise, how long you've been in the industry for, right? If you're partnering up with other people, what's that package going to entail? Who's going to handle, taking the money and all that fun stuff? How are you going to make that work? Okay. So weddings are separate, coachings is separate, and then all our other fun stuff. And Lindsay can attest to this. She's one of the professional makeup artists on the team. We have really only a handful of photographers that we work with. We don't need everybody. You just need a few key people that can help you create packages together. So everybody needs a little hair and makeup for photo shoots. But we get creative with that because it is obviously something you want that's going to be sustainable. So don't be thinking you need to be going at this alone. I'm telling you right now, you don't need to be going at this alone. Most of your dreams and your thoughts and your vision is going to be you. But then the next step is, right, expanding on that moving forward. Servicing clients, here's a great tip. Think of the client's journey. What do I mean by that? A, they found you. Now, is it easy for them to find further information and go ahead and book with you? Again, kindergarten level. You'd be surprised. If it's complex and complicated, people move on. Am I right? I'm pretty sure that was you. That was me the other day. I was trying to find someone on someone's website and I was like, for God's sakes. And I left. I was like, make it easy for people to find you. There's great online booking tools that can help you manage your people. So when I think of servicing clients, I'm thinking of their back-end journey on how to book with me, their whole experience, by the time they get to me, by the time they leave me. How seamless was that? The service provided, think about, going over and beyond. Get really creative. Right now, people really want customer service. And that's what we're in, the business of relationships and customer service. So when you really fine tune their experience, combine it with also the ease and utilizing tech for your efficiency. So I'd write that down. There's great technology now available. That might be one of the few only good things that happened during the pandemic is the ease of technology and the cost of using these technologies. That's probably the only good thing. That and maybe slowing down to actually just hang out with your own thoughts, even though we did not know what was going on. Am I right? But technology, all these companies have popped up. If you've been following our email sequences that Krista has built, that's how we built probably our first conversation. I was like, do you understand Kajabi? And she was like, yes. I'm like, great, you're hired. And then we talked about all the other fun stuff. But that literally was the first question, because I was like, I need someone who understands the client journey. Because what we want to build is making sure we're communicating, we're providing the right conversation, the right direction for our clients. And it doesn't matter if you're in a coaching background or providing a service. At the end of the day, people need ease. Right? If you call a place, you know, they close within the next hour and they don't get back to you until Monday, to me, that's a little slow. So have some tech in place, because right now, show of hands, is it just you right now providing all the services? Right? That's kind of like Lynn's and I. So except for weddings, it's a different ballgame. But for all the other easy stuff, have an online booking tool. There's some great ones out there. We use Setmore. In 7 minutes, I had that whole tech figured out, and I was like, done. I don't need to do a trial. I'm just going to buy it. That's how easy it should be. Shouldn't be complicated. If you are someone, though, that you're providing services where you require the client to, obviously, with an intake form, there's other booking tools like, say, Jane app, that can provide some ease. Again, think of the client journey. If you spend time actually coming from the client's perspective, and that was the same as this masterclass. It's all kind of the same stuff. Again, just don't build something like that whole, like, if you build it, they will come. I don't know. Will they? The online space, how to find people now, the market has changed. A lot of people just don't want to give over their credit card so fast to book something. So, but if you create an ease at the beginning, explain your services, have a strong bio about yourself. There's another tip, and share yourself. People are like, okay, that's a real human. I would totally want to work with that person, 100%. Right? Some of you are nodding. And you get that. Some of you have been in the business for a while too, so you understand that. Right? Again, my whole thing is like, if they're happy, we're happy. Right? But touching on the client journey and their experience and actually taking the time. And then here's a couple other questions that also tie into this. Are you going to create a team to also help with your ease of running a business? What do you actually need? Ask yourself that. Like, in a perfect world, we got a little extra cash coming in. What would you need? Most of us probably at some point might need an assistant, maybe a little social media help, someone just helping with on the back end of things. Lindsay's great and always eager just to be like, I can do it all when it comes to like all the other fun client bookings. And I'm like, that's great. That's what you want, is you want people who are happy and excited and want to be part of things, right? So ask yourself some hard questions, because these are things I want to spend time with all of you on in this week together. Okay. We're always going to kind of circle back to a couple things, keep building, keep adding on, move at a really, what I call it, juicy, slow pace, right? Serena turkey. Takes time. Okay. Who's going to be part of the team is a question, right? I know yours is always in. your team too. But are we going to need a good accountant? How about a financial advisor at some point? Do you have a lawyer in your back pocket if need be? You know, set up some things for success kind of moving forward. And as you're thinking about whatever number you wrote down on how much money you would like to make, we're going to work things kind of in a backwards process. What's our heavy hitting services? How many clients is that going to take? What are your hours of operation? Remember, we got what? 1 hour of dedicated time to working on our business, but how are you spending the rest of your days? And this is a good question to ask yourself. When are you most energized? Are you a morning person, afternoon person, evening person? Because then you can set your schedule up accordingly to when you feel the most energized. Because we're also in the business of what? Giving energy, right? Giving energy. It's really what it is. And sometimes we don't get it back. Because we're there to take care of someone. But that's why we signed up for this role, right? Nurturers at the end of the day. So we're going to end it with this, because Katie's going to come in and share some extra nuggets on just the few things we've touched on just to kind of get rolling for day one. How crazy is your current schedule right now? Be honest. On a scale of like 1 to 5. Do you have you time in there? Cheyenne's like a full 5. Cheyenne, we got work to do. You need some you time, love. Write that down. I need me time. And I'm not talking about the you time that is so numb that you aren't feeling anything anymore. Did we understand what I'm trying to say there? You don't want to be this person who's numb and you can't even like either A, go for a walk or just feel excited generally about anything. Right? So write that down. Where am I putting you time in? We have 24 hours in a one day. How do you want to spend it? And I'll be honest with you. I'm such a morning person. In the last 11 weeks, I have really honed in on how I spend my mornings. Before I can move and give to others. And I think we all need to be in a place of what's going on here? Where am I making time for me? Where am I honoring me? So that way you can use your gifts to give them forward. Time management, write this down. It's time management plus mental hygiene practice. Practicing mental hygiene. What do you mean by that, Trina? It takes a lot of work. And you're not going to have days where you wake up and you're like, yes. The reality is move through motions and the emotions. So figure out how you want to spend your days. We're going to come back to a lot of this often, and I'm going to continue to share how I've broken up my time, how I spend my time, because when you're also managing a brand that does do a lot of things, you can be pulled into many different directions. But I also don't want to build a different type of future that also exhausts and causes further burnout. I feel like that's not winning. It's not winning at all. Katie, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Is your camera on, love?
Hold on. I realized that I didn't have Zoom on my new computer.
Oh, you're like Lindsay this morning.
Rapidly downloaded it. Hello.
There she is. Hi,
Hello.
Katie. Welcome, everyone. This is Katie. So she is a former student of my advanced makeup program. And I'm just going to give you guys a quick tip. In my advanced makeup program, we do heavy training and discussion on business. And I'm so proud of Katie, and I'm happy that she's here to share. But Katie, why don't you just do a quick intro of yourself first before we dive into everything?
You bet. So I'm Katie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of this. It's huge. I'm from Cranbrook, BC. I am now the owner of what's called the Wildflower Boutique, where I'm a makeup artist. I do facials, both in relaxation and medical facials. I'm a registered nurse by profession before I got into all of this. So I do aesthetic nursing now, where I do Botox and filler. And I also do permanent makeup. So I'm kind of like, I do a lot of things, but it's all under the umbrella of beauty industry. What else? I'll leave it at that. And then do you want me to?
Yeah, I think that was great. So we had a quick little meeting before we got all of this started. And there's a couple things that Katie kept referencing that I was like, I think this would be relatable on a lot of levels, but I'm just going to say it. Katie comes from a place of family first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited to have her share a couple nuggets. We were talking about the playbook. And Katie, I think you should just dive in with your couple thoughts about how everything got started for you.
Yeah.
And then how you kind of pivoted and some of the things you've learned to kind of incorporate without burnout.
Okay, so my journey has been an interesting one. The last year in particular, it's been over the last 2 years. So Trina and I met about 2.5 years ago now. I took the program. And at that time, before I took the program, I was just doing freelance makeup artistry. I was literally just doing it as a hobby on the side. I had no credentials, no training, just winging it. And then I decided I kind of wanted to make this a business and go full into it. So after I did my program with Trina, I was like super inspired, felt ready to just like explode into something different. At that time, I was still nursing in the hospital doing 12-hour shifts, and I've got 3 small children, 2, 3, and 5. And it just was not working. I was only able to work night shifts. My husband worked 6 days a week. It was not, I was quickly running myself into the ground, and I was not becoming the human I wanted to be anymore. I wanted to do something different. And family first is really important to me. Being a present mom is really important to me, but also being a woman in business and working and following my passions is also really important. So I needed to find a balance. And so that's what this kind of journey over the last 2 years has been, and has brought me to where I'm at now. So backtracking, after the program with Trina, I purchased a business. My sister had this space that I'm in right now. This is my studio. It was previously a hair salon, and she was selling for various reasons. And I thought, what a perfect opportunity. And this is, I'll say it a few times, but I always believe that when you are in line with your passions and your life's work and your purpose, things will slowly start to fall into place and present themselves to you. It's just a matter of you being aligned with that and listening and tuning in and being present to take those opportunities. So this was one of those moments. I decided to just go all in, and an opportunity presented itself. Was I ready at that time to purchase a business and go all in? No.
We never are.
We never are. But I decided to jump, and it's been an incredible journey. I then went into branding myself as makeup artist. I specialize in mostly makeup artistry because, again, working around my family. My husband is able to take Saturdays off. That's when I do most of my weddings. So I go for the morning, early afternoon, and then I'm still able to go home and take my kids to the beach or to the park or play outside with them. So that was really important to me. That's kind of how I built it. And then I also had other people working in the space that I could collaborate on. I had some hairstylists. That was perfect because in weddings, you need a hairstylist, you need makeup artists. That was the first part of collaboration in my business. I've since closed down the hair salon piece of that because I wanted to expand in other ways, and I needed the full space to do that. So that's where it's kind of led me to here. I now have the whole space, and I am the only person that does all the things out of here. But again, that like following your passion, following your purpose, all of those things aligned themselves at the right time. It was not a quick build. It's been a slow journey of just slowly eating away at it and growing and developing along the way.
I think this is great. Yeah, I'm going to pipe in there. So this kind of feeds back onto what we were just previously having a discussion on, you guys.
Yeah.
Slowly grow your business. I think we all want fast, efficient, but I don't think that creates efficiencies for us, right?
No.
So taking the time to have the progression of let's reflect, let's have the opportunity to build it slowly. Eventually, Katie got rid of the hair salon side because she realized, nah. Yeah. That's usually how it goes. Doing that. Right? And you have those hard conversations. I've been there too. Sometimes you just need to let certain things go in order to move forward. Katie, can you touch on a little bit more strategy of like the technology used to make it easy for the client's journey when they're booking with you? Like, how do you work with all that, please?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I did everything very inefficiently and chaotically. And I literally had like my day planner agenda, and I had people texting and emailing, and I was getting people like texting me. Then they were emailing me on my personal. Then they were DMing me Facebook. Then they were like Instagram. I had all of these different avenues that people were trying to message me, and trying to keep that straight while having no booking system, no online system. It was chaos and stressful. And I don't know how I didn't mess up bookings along the way. I didn't, but I've learned since. I started out with like one app. I started out with the Square app, and I used that for about a year. And I was like, this isn't really what I want. I want like more of an online system. So I've since in the last 6 months switched over to what's called the Jane app, and it runs like all of my stuff. It has all of my booking, all of my online booking. I can manage everything in there. All of my charting for all of the different things that I do is in there. Contracts, they're in there. Like it's a one-stop shop and it's very efficient. I can do it from my phone. I can do it from my computer. It's made my life a lot easier.
That's perfect. We were just talking about that because I'm like, they also have great intake forms that can be sent to your clients in advance to their
Totally.
appointment. And then that way you can do like a quick like review with them.
Yeah.
So gone are the days that they have to fill out a paper consultation form, right?
Right? Yes.
Again, creating those efficiencies, I think, is key, having the right tech in place.
Yeah.
And then Katie, talk to us about, you mentioned Saturdays are dedicated to weddings. How do you feel when you're managing a brand? How do you work your days? Where do you fit in? I guess give us a recap on, let's say, like a day like tomorrow, because today obviously we threw you into a webinar, but like a day like tomorrow, just a normal day, like how do you kind of break up your day where you're seeing clients, where you're working on yourself, where you're working on your business, if you want to share?
So it's been, truthfully, it's been a little chaotic managing all of the things and trying to like be a good mom, be a wife, manage the home, manage the business, all those things. It's been a bit tricky. I wouldn't say that I've mastered it yet, but I'm definitely doing my best to get better at it. Simple things for me, I like to get ready for the day. I like to have my makeup on. I like to have my hair done. That just makes me feel more productive. It's not really a vain thing. It's just how I've always been.
Mhm.
And having little children who get up at the crack of dawn, I've had to adjust like when I fit me time in. So I get up earlier than everybody in the house and I like drink my coffee and I get ready. And that's like my time. Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast. I have nobody bugging me and I just like get my mindset right for the day. Then it's my family time, right? We're doing breakfast. We're getting ready for school. We're packing lunches. I'm in the mom role. And then I get everyone out the door and then I go into work. So I'm like, it's a balance of trying to like be present in each area because I have been in the stage where it's like I'm trying to be all of the things all of the times and it's too chaotic and then I end up just getting like overwhelmed, overstimulated, burnt out, and then I turn into not the nicest human when
Nobody does.
right? Like there's better ways to do it. And it's, I think honestly, it is literally day to day, just being mindful and bringing yourself back to like taking the moment to organize, okay, what do I need in this moment? What do my kids need in this moment? How can I fit everything in so that I am not overexerting myself in all of the areas?
I agree.
I'm still
Well, and I think that's just, we're only human at the end of the day. But I had mentioned to this before too, is just being imperfectly perfect
yeah.
and honoring the day that it needs to unfold, because not every week is the same. And but
No.
I think if we have our mindset based on proper time management and being in those moments, I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah.
It does kind of shape it, and everyone else has been nodding, so I feel like that's obviously a good feel, right? Because we can stretch ourselves so fast and so thin.
Yes.
And when you're in the business of nurturing people and just being a woman, we just naturally nurture anyways,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
I want you to touch on, if you don't mind, and then we're going to open up a little Q&A
Yeah.
for everyone else, because I know there's a couple of you who have questions. The best partnerships you have found, because we had a quick little discussion before you jumped on. Actually, Louisa was great just to kind of pipe in with a second about how to find the right type of people that aligned. So if you can share how you took that time to find people, the right people, please share any thoughts with that.
So in the beauty industry, I learned, and I learned this from you big time, Trina. There's a place for everybody in the industry. It doesn't need to be this cutthroat, competitive, catty business. You really do need, there's only so much that you as a professional can do. There's only so many clients you can take on. There's only so many specialties you can have. There is a huge benefit and a necessity to collaborate with people, to have other makeup artists, hairstylists, estheticians, photographers. You really do need the full circle of everybody to collaborate, because that's where you're going to excel, right? You partner
Mhm.
with other people, you do other things. That gets you new opportunities. You're just constantly networking. And even like for me, a big thing that I've noticed, I have closed my books for weddings this year. I still have some weekends available, but again, going back to that family time, I'm not willing to book myself completely at the expense of not being able to be with my family. So in that instance, I still have people approaching me. I have a list of other makeup artists, hairstylists, all the things, and I'm constantly referring to them, and vice versa. You know, you build that relationship and you go back and forth. It benefits everybody. And same thing, if somebody comes to me and they're wanting something that isn't really in my wheelhouse, I have people that I know whose wheelhouse that could fit in, and I'll refer to them. So there's like this huge benefit. And again, you need to have those relationships. You need to collaborate. You need to refer. It's only going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, I think that's great. You nailed it 100%. Did that help everyone a little bit with some tips there? Okay, we're going to open it up for a little Q&A. Rouge, did you have your hand up?
Yeah.
I might be putting your Rouge on the spot. Did you have a question? No? Oh, okay. Sorry. I think you got up. Would anybody else have a question for Katie while we have her here before we start to wrap up our remaining few minutes? Cheyenne, yes, please. Talk to us. Oh, we can't hear you, love. You're still muted. Bottom left, I believe.
How would you work with like people with like that are vegan and like to work with cruelty free? Because like I have a yoga teacher and she's all about that cruelty free. She's vegan and like so I know I have to use certain products on her face because
Because of her preference. Yeah. I feel like that's actually not uncommon. I know Katie can pipe in there too, but Lindsay can attest to this too. We've had the odd person, if we have certain products, like even if it's just an allergy, a preference, even a certain foundation color can actually be a conversation with some of our clients, to be honest. If they feel more comfortable providing something, we've also been open to be able to work with certain products too, but we are also very kind of key on making sure we do carry some stuff that can obviously be for all preferences.
Yeah.
Katie, for you too?
Yeah. I've only run into this a few times, but what I've started doing, in all scenarios, really, if people have a preference of like a product that they love, I'm more than happy for them to bring in their product and we use it.
what happens if they don't have a product that and they're struggling on finding one?
Oh, that's a good question. So does this yoga teacher client not have a product?
I haven't really come talk to her much about it, but like she's wanting to know what kind of products that I use, and like I like to try to go for the vegan and like cruelty free because like I love animals and I have my own cat too. So
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I feel you on that one. Yeah, for us too, like we're usually, and I'm usually honest with people, not everything is probably vegan on our end. It also falls into the same line. I don't know if anyone's ever had this question, like how green and environmentally friendly are you in this business? It's kind of a tricky kind of thing to really kind of meet and nail, but I'm pretty sure there's tons of like product out there. But I want to hear from Katie, because is Botox and filler considered vegan?
It's a great question.
I feel like no.
Mm,
Some of you are like, ah, the things that conversation. Okay, you're just got a question. I
so
knew it.
some
Here.
Botox is not technically vegan.
Yeah.
Some is, I guess, I feel like you're safest to say no.
And just be honest.
Be honest.
At the end of the day.
Filler is essentially just hyaluronic acid. So yes,
That's
filler
true.
would be.
So filler would be okay.
Synthetic hyaluronic acids as well in the
Sorry,
market.
say that again, Yarush.
There are some synthetic hyaluronics as well in the market. So you can actually use it as an alternative.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can actually, and for that reason, like for vegan clients, and I get all the time because I practice oncology aesthetics as well. So for that reason, I have to have my product lines in my mind, or I have to have lists of all kinds of like products. So doing a market research is a good idea in that.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah,
I feel like there's so much out there too, right?
absolutely.
I feel like Uruj and Cheyenne, you guys should share information.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
Because
say
Uruj, you've
something.
been kind of in there too, and that could probably help pick your brain there, Cheyenne.
Absolutely.
Lisa, you want to pipe in?
Regarding oncology and clear products. So
Mhm.
yeah, sorry, again, I lived 39 years in Italy
Yeah.
and I worked there. So in Europe, there are so many companies, much more companies.
And then
Crazy.
you come to Canada and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that, but a little bit because
Oh, Canada, what
I'm
happened
sorry.
here?
No. Don't get me wrong. I became Canadian too, so I
Congrats, yeah.
love it. I've been here since 15 years. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But I was born there. I grew up, and we are full of companies in the beauty center. You receive calls and calls of reps all the time to, but yeah, you need to research and to learn about ingredients, to learn about skin types, and is a capillaries really in details work you need to do in order you want to have vegan or 100% natural, whatever. So it's interesting too. It takes time.
It does
Yeah.
take time, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And then I always think science is always evolving. Technology and products is
Totally.
always evolving.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I feel like even for me, I do private makeup lessons for clients, and they always show up with like way more product, different brands, this and that, because no one's really educated other than they just go to Sephora.
Right.
And Sephora's fun. It's pretty. There's shiny things, but when you're in the industry, you also are a bit more aware and a bit more educated, right? Because we take proper training for a reason to understand certain things. So I think for me too, when I like even just look at my own professional kit, it's really just broken down to probably like 2 brands tops because I know exactly what's in these products.
Yeah.
So Cheyenne, you can build a business based around that, and you can kind of approach it with like a whole mind body, kind of like an organic kind of vibe, to be honest, that,
Well, like
can work
I
for
have
everybody.
I've been a very sensitive skin, like anything with
That
like
too.
orange in it, like I'm very allergic to orange. So even if it's one little drop of orange, like I will still react really bad.
Man down. Yeah, that's not good. We can't have you going down.
Well,
You're gonna say something?
yes, I think it's a good idea. Like I do it myself, and that's why I'm recommending it to anyone who's searching for specific products. It's a good idea to just go into all kinds of like, farmers market and all of these places. You can discover the most beautiful products from there because people are like, they take their time into building those products into their kitchens and into their homes. So those products are very like basic, simple, not very complicated, not with stabilizers and all kinds of like chemicals and all that. So I do have so many like people who are bringing their products into those areas, and you can just go there and you can find those products. You can actually take them to labs and get them tested for yourself as well, just to make sure that those products are what they are claiming to be. And they are already tested, because you cannot just bring those products to the market without the approval of Canada Health and all. So those are like different kind of like ways to discover those products as well.
Yeah, no, I think this is a great share. I'm gonna lean on Kat because Kat's got retail lines. Can you pipe in on this, Kat? What you have found the most success? Or did she freeze? Oh, she might be frozen. Oh, that's how she gets out of not talking. See, just freeze your camera. That's okay. Oh, there she is, and she's back. Kat, are you there? Oh, we just can't hear you, love. I was just hoping you can pipe in real quick about retailing. Preferences, all that fun stuff, because you've been retailing too for quite some time. Technical difficulties. Can I do it on my end? Here. Did this prompt anything?
Thank you.
There we go.
I'm trying to unmute and the button won't come up, but
There she is.
I'm like talking and nobody's hearing me.
No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna pipe in just about the skincare. So in my studio, I use primarily my own products for back bar and for retail. So I have a chemist. My stuff is clean beauty. You have to be careful when you say clean beauty. It's a very overused marketing term.
Mhm.
So is medical grade, professional grade, cosmetic grade, and all. I've done a lot of research on that, and people just, oh, I have to use this. No, you don't. That is absolutely BS. So anyways, I use only my products on me, and I started this way late. I'm older than all of you. So started this way late in the game, but I feel very happy about it. My skincare line has really taken off. And I have a lot of clients like you, Shan. My skin's very sensitive. My skin's very, all of my products you can use. Primary clients I have are people that are always reacting, and so I feel that's what I kind of build my brand on, is anyone can use my skincare and have amazing results. And so I think it's important to know what's in your skincare. I have a whole binder full of what is in my skincare for my clients that
Yeah,
are
that's
highly
great.
concerned. And so they can always look at it. I will always tell them all my stuff is pure. I use pure everything. And you can't say there's no chemicals in it. I mean, there are some chemicals in everything, regardless of how clean, you use the term clean. But I know Health Canada, like all of my ingredients, my labeling has to be vetted through Health Canada.
Oh.
And you cannot call your line vegan, clean. You have to be very careful how you market yourself. And so, yeah, so it is quite challenging in that particular game. But when you know what you're using on people and you're using it as part of their facial and they're seeing the results, then they're using it at home. It's building that trust, right?
Yeah.
And that's my take on it. So I try to eat, sleep, and drink my own brand. I love swag. I have, but at this point, I feel like I need people smarter. I always thought I was so smart because I came 21 years running everyone else's businesses downtown Calgary. And now like running my own is like a nightmare. Like I'm terrible at it. So I'm really good at, doing what I like to do, but everything else, I mean, I have an accountant, I have a financial planner, and I avoid them all the time because I just don't want to talk about it. So
I think that's step one, is just being honest with yourself, right? Where's my strengths? Where's my weaknesses? I love it.
Mine is,
this is such a great share. I love it.
Do love it. And I just think, the clean beauty, the sensitive skin. I think everyone thinks they have sensitive skin, but very few people actually have sensitive skin. It's just products and trial and error, and lifestyle has a lot to do with how your skin is going to react to any products that you're using as well. So
yeah,
that's my
I totally agree.
input.
This is great stuff. So here's a little homework, because tomorrow we want to start diving into like how to actually have these conversations with your clients when it comes to marketing, whether it's social media, email sequences, working on your bios. We want to kind of do some fun things tomorrow. So do a little recap of some of the things we've talked about that have stuck out to you. Homework isn't do 10 things today. It's like, what are the 1 or 2 things that resonated with you so we can kind of carry forward tomorrow? Does that sound like a great plan for everybody? And I'll probably pick on some of you tomorrow just to get us all warmed up, because I'm a fan of sharing is caring. I love it. Katie, thank you for coming to share with us today. It was great to hear your story again. Thank you.
Thank you for
so proud of you.
Good.
It's so good. It's so good. So just a couple quick things before I let everybody kind of leave. I don't know. Lindsay just threw in the chat. If you're not part of our Facebook community page, definitely come hang out with us over there. We'll be sending a replay of today's Zoom as well as in an email. We're also still running a contest. Bring a friend. And then you can win a free strategy session with yours truly. We can hang out, have a good time. So I'll leave that in your corner, but they have to join our Facebook community page because then it gets prompted asking who were they referred by. And so far, everybody's been putting my name. So make sure they're putting your name because I'm not going to have a free session with myself, obviously. Right? And coming up soon too, I'm going to be also opening up a free 15-minute phone call to check on the health and pulse of your business and give you a sneak peek and behind the scenes of the program that we're building. That's also in correlation to everything we've been talking about and more stuff to come. So we'll also be sharing that as well as of tomorrow. But tomorrow, day 2, we're back and you're going to get to hear from Krista. Krista, give us a wave. So she's been handling everything on the back end, technology wise for Trina Lane. So she's going to have tons of cool tasks for you guys to help kind of utilize tech and move your businesses forward that way. Sound good? I'm excited. Thank you for being here today. Day 1 goes by fast. Okay, well, I wish you all the rest of your Monday to be vibrant and awesome. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.